Hey, Ruby. How's it going?
Like a speeding bullet.
Hi. I heard you were back at school.
Yeah, well, I thought I'd see if it's gotten any better since I've been away.
How you doing?
Great. I've only dropped one plate so far. Of course, with my luck, I'd had to have the chef special on it.
You did seem a little jumpy when I came in.
Only when the door opens.
Every time the door opens? Oh, Liz. Could we sit down and talk for a minute?
Ruby doesn't really like it when I sit.
Ruby, I need Liz for a minute, okay?
Oh, sure, honey.
Okay. Pays to know the boss.
Oh, wait. It's over there.
You know, Liz, you don't need to push so hard so soon. I mean, I could come up with a pretty medical-sounding excuse to Ruby if you'd rather be at home.
No, thanks. I'd rather not be at home. I told Graham everything. Big mistake.
Why? What'd she say?
Nothing.
No.
Well, as close to nothing as she could get. I mean, she made a bigger stink when I stole her car keys. It was like, if we don't mention the R word, then maybe it will unhappen.
Well, that doesn't sound like the Audrey I know.
It works for her. Maybe I should handle it the way she says.
Audrey isn't handling it. She's obviously in denial.
Well, maybe that's not such a bad place to be.
No. If you need help, you're certainly entitled to ask for it.
Yeah, great. Tell the world. You know what they're gonna think when they find out?
What do you mean?
Well, I know everybody thinks that I'm like the town tramp. But guess what? Ha, joke's on them. I'm a virgin. I mean, I was until...
Hey, good afternoon.
I gotta put away 3 chapters of modern European history. Can you believe that? Then I gotta do this thing on Silas Marner.
Who?
I don't know, some old sailor I don't care about. What? What? You know, this mind-reading thing of yours can be real annoying, Dad.
Really? What's up, son? Bad day at campus?
No, not for me. Elizabeth came back to school.
Well, that's a good thing, isn't it?
Who knows? She won't talk about it. You know, she hasn't even gone to the police.
That's her choice.
Yes, I know. But, Dad, how can I help her if she won't talk about it?
Maybe you can't help her, Lucky. Maybe you've done everything you can, for now. You're the guy who found her when she was most vulnerable, and you took care of her. And maybe right now you're the last guy she wants to talk to.
Okay. All right, maybe I can't help her that way. But you know, there is something I can do. And I bet you'd mean a lot to Elizabeth.
Okay, what is it?
I can find the guy that did this to her. But I'm gonna need your help.
Okay, look. Did Elizabeth ask you to find the guy who... Did she?
She didn't have to. You know, she took a little getting used to. But I tell you, the thing I liked about her the most from the start was that she had guts. More guts than brains sometimes, but I never saw her back down from anything or anyone. And now, she's somebody else. She walks around all quiet and alone. Like she doesn't want anyone to notice her. But then any noise or sudden movement and she jumps out of her skin. And she looks around all embarrassed. She just disappears again. She's afraid. I've never seen somebody so afraid in my life. So I figure I can give her one less thing to be afraid of. The thing that scares her the most. The man who raped her.
Look, I don't want you going one-on-one with this guy. I mean it!
That's why I came to you.
I'm no expert.
He's still out there, Dad. And he's gonna do it again unless he's stopped. You know, I don't get what makes a man think he has the right to turn somebody inside out. So I'm asking you, Dad, will you help me?
Liz, I know you've heard this before, but you really can't hear it enough. Rape is never about sex, ever. It's an act of violence. And whether you were a virgin or you weren't, really doesn't matter.
Yeah, but it matters to me. It wasn't like I was dying to hold on to it forever or anything. I didn't even think I'd have to be with someone I loved. Just somebody that was nice. Was that hoping for too much?
No, honey, of course it wasn't. Is this making you feel any better, talking about it?
Yeah, I feel terrific.
I didn't say good. I just said better. You know, verbalizing what happened to you is part of coming to terms with it.
I don't want to come to terms with it. I want to get over it.
Well, for now, just try living with it. And the first step is good, completely confidential help from healthcare professionals.
You want me to go to the hospital?
I have a friend who works at Mercy. I could call her today.
Would there also be an AIDS test?
That would be a good idea, don't you think? If you were exposed to the virus, the sooner you knew, the sooner you could start treatment.
You know what? I'd rather just not know. I'd rather just get you a cup of coffee and act like I'm working and worry about things like losing my job and gaining weight and whether anybody loves me.
Hi.
Oh, hi.
Is everything okay? I waited for you after algebra. I thought we were gonna go home together.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just wanted to get to work.
I was just wondering. I hope you don't mind me checking up on you.
Seems like everybody's been checking up on me today. Bobbie wants me to still see a doctor and to get an exam and have an AIDS test.
It's probably a good idea, Liz.
Sarah, I think everybody knows at school.
Oh, I don't see how they could.
I know, but I see them look at me and then I look back and they turn away. I mean, maybe Lucky said something to somebody or...
Oh, no, he would never.
Well, then is it me? I mean, do I look different in my eyes or something?
No, Lizzie, you look the same.
I feel different. I feel like my skin's... like its snake skin's trying to come off. Kind of weird, huh? Oh, Elizabeth, you poor thing. What are you doing here? I can't believe you're working. I heard all about you.
You did?
Yeah, it's all over the school.
I don't get how this guy could do that to Elizabeth.
Well, maybe there's no way you can't understand it, Lucky. There are some things, the more you look at them, the more bizarre they become.
Do you think the guy knew Elizabeth?
I don't know. I think that at that moment, it didn't matter who Elizabeth was. He was out of control.
You know, I keep imagining it. Elizabeth walking where she had every right in the world to be. And these hands just grabbing her, pulling her into the bushes, dragging her in. She didn't have a chance. Do you know the worst part, Dad? She feels ashamed about this. She didn't do a damn thing. And she feels ashamed. You know what else I don't understand? What did the guy get out of it? That he had to hurt Elizabeth to get it. How could any man do this to any woman and go on living with himself? Go on living at all? What? Why are you looking at me like that, Dad?
I'm sorry, Lucky. Well, your question got to me. Like the big questions do. Look, son, this is not about men. This is about one man and what he did to one young woman. And being men, it doesn't give us special insights into this one guy. See, sometimes it makes you even dumber because having power and influence, you take it for granted maybe, and sometimes you don't always show wisdom or restraint. But this happened, and I don't know why it happened. But it happened to Elizabeth, not to you. And no matter how much you feel it, you cannot take this experience away from her.
I know that, Dad.
Do you know that, really? Do you know that enough to let her decide what to do next?
She is confused right now. All I'm saying is maybe she needs someone to tell her what to do for right now.
No. She doesn't need somebody to hijack her life again. Don't you see? What she needs is she needs to run the show called Elizabeth Weber. And if that means that she needs to deny that any of this ever happened, then you have to let her do that, and you have to respect that.
So Elizabeth is in pieces. And this guy gets, what, a get-out-of-jail-free card? Dad, that is wrong! Nobody should do what he did and get away with it. Nobody.
Was it something I said?
What's all over school, Emily?
Well, what Elizabeth has. The flu. Mr. Murdy said that there were so few kids at school that he was just going to teach us a tale of one city.
Yeah, Liz got a really, really bad case. She was in bed for days.
Am I butting in on something here?
No. You're fine. Thank you.
Okay, I'll see you later.
See, nobody knows anything. After the way I just freaked, now she's gonna know something's wrong. I'll go talk to her. Emily.
What's going on?
Nothing.
Hey, I was just trying to be friendly to your sister, and she looked at me like I had two heads. What have you been telling Liz about me?
Nothing, Emily. Liz just hasn't been feeling very well and has been a little edgy, and, you know, maybe until she's feeling better, you could just let her be by herself.
Well, hello, Bobbie.
Hi, Audrey.
Hello, Elizabeth. How was school today?
It's okay. I mean, it was a little hard with people not knowing and me wondering if they ever will.
Well, the less we brood about it, the less likely it is to happen, don't you think?
The man who raped Elizabeth will be punished. Lucky, you have to believe that. It'll be cause and effect or momentum or
Dad,
karma.
I'm not talking that kind of punishment. I'm talking about bars and chains and bread and water. After that, if he wants to throw in a guilty conscience, no problem.
This is turning into quite a crusade for you.
Why not? Elizabeth is a good friend. You know, maybe she wasn't at first, but she's funny. She makes me laugh. And she's so bad at hiding how she feels, it's almost like being honest. I should have just gone to the dance with her, Dad. I told her I would meet her
Look,
at the
I
dance.
know where you're going with this. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear it.
Dad, I just should have kept my promise.
Look, don't do that. Don't ever take another man's crime as your own. There is one man responsible, one predator. It's not you, it's not Elizabeth, it's not even my fault. And if it hadn't been her, Lucky, it would have been some other young woman who didn't deserve it any more than she did. Are you going to feel guilty about her too? Just this one guy, this one coward, he is responsible, the man who used your friend to feel better about himself for one insane moment in his miserable life.
Yeah, so the guy just gets away with it. You know how sick I am of this? It just... I honestly don't know what to do. But, okay. If Elizabeth doesn't want me to bring the guy down, then I guess I'll try to build her up.
Yeah, I think she'd appreciate that. You know, as long as you don't expect gratitude or expect her to do what you want her to do, because Lucky, she has got to find her own way out of this nightmare.
You know, I just hope I always treat women the way you've treated Mom.
I hope you do a lot better.
Okay, I'll do it. The exam, I'll do it.
Good, Liz. You made the right decision.
But can we set it up before I change my mind? You will be there, won't you?
Of course I will. Is tomorrow good?
Yeah, sure.
All right. I'll call and I'll schedule it, and I'll call you at the time, okay?
Okay. Okay, thanks.
Liz, I'm really glad to help. Just remember that.
I will.
You know, you can't have too many people beside you for support at a time like this.
Right. Could you give me a second?
Sure. Good luck.
I think so.
Hi, Graham.
Hi, darling.
I'm gonna go get a soda from Ruby.
Oh, all right.
I'm gonna have an exam at Mercy tomorrow.
Oh, I see.
I'd like you to come.
Oh, dear, I can't, darling. There's just somewhere I have to be. I'm sorry. Now I have to get home.
Hi, Lucky.
Is Elizabeth all right?
Just brave. Incredibly brave. All right's gonna take a little while.
I was just asking my dad what kind of man could do that. Ever.